President Trump just changed the electoral landscape forever with a fraud firestorm bombshell live address from the White House that broke the entire internet, but was banned on corporate TV. ABC, NBC, and CNN refused to cover it. In this bombshell, President Trump made a number of shocking, hard evidenced claims because he released the actual CIA evidence on the way that elections are stolen in our country and how foreign nations can steal our country and how insecure electronic voting actually is, how much we need the SAVE Act. Trump says that the FBI reported that China attempted to manufacture fake ballots for Joe Biden in 2020. President Trump releases bombshell. China attempting to manufacture fake ballots. Chinese government production of export fraudulent U.S. driver's license to Chinese sympathizers in the United States in order to create tens of thousands of fraudulent mail-in votes for presidential candidate Joe Biden in 2020. And they hid this evidence from the American people. They hid it from you. And there it is. China used CCP assets in U.S. media and social media to incite the BLM uprising. They said that Iran did this as well. I'll show you the documents. Ahead of the 2020 presidential election, China had an extensive plans to utilize potential cyber operations to sway American public opinion against Donald Trump, alleging that white people hate black people, inciting demonstrations and marches against racial divisions, increasing the level of conflict between police and anti-racist activists, feeding any sense that U.S. law enforcement resents people of color. Look at that. So all of the libtards, every person that shared a BLM black square, you are a Chinese asset. You are also probably an Iranian asset, as has been declassified here. Foreign threats to the U.S. election. It goes through how Russia, Iran, and China are all trying to rig the election. China was trying to rig the election against Donald Trump, and so was Iran. Okay? So Iran didn't want Trump to win. China didn't want Trump to win. Here we go. What was Iran doing? So Iran was trying to attack Donald Trump using civil unrest, domestic protest, racial justice, mail-in voting, and the administration's handling of COVID pandemic. The supreme leader actually authorized this. So if you were sharing libtard memes, masking memes, BLM memes, social justice memes, you were doing the will of the jihadist, Iranian, bloodthirsty, death to America crowd. Good job. Great job, everyone. Or the Chi-Coms. Incredible. It's all now available on whitehouse.gov election integrity website. Election integrity here. So there are a ton of documents that they just released. There are thousands of documents actually that they just released. So we're just getting like the little bits and pieces of them rolling in right now. Let's just take the top line here from the president's team. Declassified documents show that in the 2020 cycle, China carried out the largest compromise of election data in history. They took effectively the voter files of every American. Names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote, engage in nefarious activities. Evil. Even when significant evidence of fraud had been detected and buried and covered up, among the disclosures tonight, the FBI files detailing evidence of massive fraud operation in Michigan. They kicked in the door of and then the FBI completely covered up. FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, but Joe Biden slow-walked the investigation for years. Kash Patel has got to get it done. They said they're not going to cover the speech, Donald Trump says. They don't like the topic, how corrupt our system is. We got to pull their broadcast licenses. Wild. So here we go. Put it together. These disclosures reveal that an election system is broken and vulnerable.
These disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls, and yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail.
He's pissed. You can see it here too, by the way. So some of the files that we've downloaded: summary of the intelligence reporting for Venezuela's electronic manipulation capabilities. Oh, I thought this was safe and secure, and that was the safest and most secure election ever. Turns out that's not true. They were lying to us the whole time. Here's directly from the CIA that Venezuela Smartmatic was used to manipulate election results using pre-programmed voting machines. These machines were deployed in 300 voting centers. This is talking about Venezuela's election. Traditionally pro-Chavez areas to ensure the voting machine was he won by approximately 1.5 million votes. He ended up winning by 1.6 million votes. So they plugged in the algorithm into the machines. The machines created fake ballots, fake votes, and he was able to win. And they assess, the intelligence community, that the Venezuelan government manipulation of electronic voting systems and potential national security implications for U.S. elections and infrastructure. The intelligence community established that the Venezuelan government officials developed sustained interest in likely capability of manipulating electronic voting systems, including Smartmatic technology. There it is. Insane. And that this could, at scale, this could rig elections in the United States. That's what this says. We have it now. We have the documents. No one can call us election deniers. We have the documents. Beijing's effort to shape U.S. policies in China. This goes through how Beijing is hoovering up all this evidence in order to blackmail American politicians and administration officials. So it's like the full Eric Swalwell. Vulnerabilities of U.S. elections and infrastructure. Again, this is saying that Russia and China and Iran are trying to hack our elections, and that they can hack our elections because of, look, they're playing Doom on a voting machine because everything is connected to the internet. It's all electronic. And that this could, they don't have proof of it, but they could rig our elections through electronic voting machines. You need to get rid of these machines. And then DHS released these numbers. Insane numbers. 250,000 non-citizens are eligible or registered to vote. Of course, they're not eligible. They're illegally here. And they are illegally voting in our election. Georgia, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas. Deceased and non-citizen voters. Even in Republican states, you have thousands of non-citizens voting. Or at least registered. Thousands. President Trump just like going ballistic on all of this. Amazing. 250,000 non-citizens illegally registered in just 4 states. Insane. I can't believe the documents. I can't believe it's real. It's finally out there.
Confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling. covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country.
The FBI claiming to run a shadow government. Crazy. The big picture is this. We don't have secure elections. That our foreign enemies can hack our elections and do so very easily through birthright citizenship, through electronic voting, through shipping in fake driver's licenses, through BLM and left-wing organizations. And so we have to fix it. That's the main takeaway from all of this. Join us in fixing it. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like a dog with a bone, man. This is the issue of our time. The Western civilization will ebb, fall, fail, or will be renewed if we can fix this issue and make sure only Americans vote in our elections. I can't believe it's come to this, but here it is. This is our fight. Join the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy, Benny.